There. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? Today I'm here to do a food review and also a movie review. And I'm here to review Twix Santas. It's Christmas time. This was part of the very kind birthday package that my friend Howie Cat sent me. And I want to include a movie review of a movie called Enemy Territory from 1987. Christopher Sposa might be interested in this one. Because he usually sends me stuff from 80s and very early 90s. And I have a story behind that movie too. So I thought, I'm recording this New Year's Day. So this might be the last video I record on New Year's Day. But I'll put this up Thursday at 6 o'clock. And so let's go ahead and try the Twix Santas first. Okay. You see the picture of Santa right there. Ho ho ho. Up. And there's two of them in here. It says 2 to go. See if they have the outline of Santa on here. I wonder what it's going to look like, because I've never had Twix Santas before. I usually don't eat Twix that much. But it's kind of cool he sent me this. Okay. Now that's cool. Now this looks like a print of Santa like that with Twix on there and Santa on there. Because I remember, like, some people were, I did Palmer candies and, the Santa Claus. Those had the imprint of Santa. I was cool they did that. Some people were like, Santa's low quality chocolate and stuff. But, I'd like to review it. And I remember the Reese's Peanut Butter Christmas trees. Sometimes they look like something else. They don't have that. They should have a design on it like this one. I like this design a lot. Like I said, once again, you get the Twix logo. You got Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho. Let's try it out. There's caramel, milk chocolate, and a cookie. You see, you got cookie at the bottom, the caramel top, and the milk chocolate around it. Wow. It's actually really good. I usually don't get Twix because I'm not the biggest fan of Twix, but in this configuration, it's pretty good. Wow. I can give the Twix Santas a 8.5 out of 10. Are really good. Now let me move on to a movie. Thank you very much, Howie Cat, for sending these to me too. I have one to eat later. Well, let me move on to the movie review of Enemy Territory. Now, this is one of the ones that another one of Charles Band's movies. Now, I used to be a hugest fan of his movies. I found out about him in the 80s, and then 80s and 90s, and then in the 70s, and then now it's like the movies aren't that very good and terrible, or like. I think he did some Haunted Dollhouse. All that was 3 edited versions of existing movies he already did with a little bit of a thing of a computer animation of a dollhouse. That was like one of the most shockingly. I even did a video called "Shame on You, Charles Band." I used to really like his movies, and kind of went downhill big time. Anyways, I guess he was tired of studio interference, how the studios distributed movies, so he formed Empire Pictures back in the early 80s. In like 82, 83. And eventually, on Wikipedia, it says that they were. I even saw something on the Today Show about that they usually film movies in Italy. And they released movies like B films, like, and they did had some great success. They had, Troll and Ghoulies and stuff like that. And then they had, like, the cult classics From Beyond and Reanimator. And something happened that they had financial problems, and then it got taken over by Epic Entertainment. And that included a lot of production titles to be, such as Stuart Gordon's Robo-Jocks, what I'm going to talk about later, to be delayed and released for several years. And Arena was a great one. This is like 87. I saw Arena in 91. Remember running that in Fort Detrick, Maryland. I loved it. And I remember some of these movies got limited release. Some of these got big releases, like Ghoulies and Troll and stuff like that. And Eliminators. And Dungeon Master, I think I was just driving, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen all those ones. But Robo-Jocks, it was kind of weird. It had a limited release. And it was actually playing, when I was in Fort Bragg, it was playing at the military theater. I told my friend, hey, let's go see this. And he's like, I don't want to see this. Because they were talking about Robo-Jocks for a long time. And like I said, it got delayed in production because of financial stuff. And my friend, I took my friend. My friend never forgave me for it. It was one of Stuart Gordon's movies. It was like, it was a bunch of flying transformers and stuff. I kind of liked Robo-Jocks. It didn't do very well. The budget was $10 million. It only made like $1.2 million or something like that, according to IMDb. Well, anyways, when I went in the Army, a lot of the stuff, like I said, from Empire went sideways, and then in Germany, I started seeing like some movies that were from Empire, like Prison and Ghost Town, get bought up by what was it? Oh, what was the name of that company? That New World Pictures, and they released those two, and those were really good. And then when I was in Germany and stuff, in the PX, there was a place where you rent videotapes. Everybody was down on that place. They didn't want to rent videotapes there. They kind of like scoffed at the place, said they don't have nothing. And like they say stuff about the library. Those are the only two places on post to rent videos. And then if you want to rent videos anywhere else, you had to go off post. And I remember having a membership there. And that's back when you usually had to buy like a membership. And like on your birthday, you get a free movie. And they had a movie that with Ray Parker Jr. in it. I saw it. I mean, it was on through CBS Fox. CBS Fox bought it and put it on video. With starring Ray Parker Jr. And my dad, he grew up. He was a big Ray Parker Jr. fan. He loved that song, "The Other Woman." And of course, Ray Parker Jr. did the theme for Ghostbusters. I guess he won the acting. He was in this one along with Jan Michael Vincent. And I was like, well, and I saw Empire. I think it still had the Empire logo. I said, okay, I want to see this. And it also had smaller roles from like starter roles for like a bigger other stars like Stacey Dash in an early role, and also Tony Todd is the bad guy. He played Count Sicko. And the weird thing is, I remember running it like I think I talked to Dad about it a long, long time ago. And I forgot I couldn't remember what the damn title was called. For the life of me. And then I saw something on Exploring Movies. I think Exploring Puppet Master or something like that. And they talked about this guy that went on to do other movies. Or it was Demonic Toys on Good Bad Flicks. And he said he directed a movie including Enemy Territory. So I looked at IMDb and looked up Enemy Territory. And that's the one with Ray Park Jr., which I wanted to see for a long time. I couldn't remember what it was. So it was Enemy Territory. And I went on YouTube, and I found it was on YouTube. And it's weird that you have Ray Parker Jr. in it, and then Jan Michael Vincent plays a character called Mr. Parker, which I thought was a little bit weird. And so I saw it again after all these years. I only saw it once back in '87. I told some people about it, but I mean I don't know if they liked it or not. I saw it on YouTube last night, and then into today because I went to sleep. It's about like this guy's insurance salesman, and the guy says, his boss said, we need you to sell this to this one lady as quickly as possible, $100,000 policy. You get a decent pension because he was in competition with one guy and he needed the money because he was on the outs. And he said, well, I'll give you another chance. It was a dangerous assignment. And he had to go to like this apartment complex, and it was run by a street gang called the Vampires. And he went up there, and he ended up insulting this. He tapped this one kid. He disrespected this one member. The little kid tapped him on the shoulder, and he embarrassed him in front of this woman or something like that. He goes, "You're dead, man. You're dead." And he was like a young kid, like 12 or 13 or something like that. And then, you know, after he went up to the lady's house, and then he said, at nighttime, the vampires are coming for you. And they weren't real vampires. It was a street gang called the Vampires, and they thought, like, you know, because Tony Todd was a leader, he was Count Sicko. And they had another guy who was a main man called, his henchman called Psycho. Okay. And, no, I lost track. You know, he went to sign that policy for that lady. And then he went back. He was going to take the elevator down. They'd say, hey, this is the guy that disrespected you. And they were after him. And then Ray Parker Jr. saw him and decided to help him. And like Tony said, hey, we don't have any problem with you. But I think he shot the guy or something. Like he had a gun. He shot the guy. Because he got it from the night watchman that they shot. And he called him a blood traitor. And then pretty much the rest of the movie is them trying to escape from the apartment building. And they have help with Jan Michael Vincent, who's like a Vietnam vet with machine guns. And he had like this this wheelchair that shot like, I don't know what it shot, bullets. I can't remember what it shot. And it's very entertaining. It's a B movie. It can get silly, but it's very entertaining. What else? You know, I think it's a little over the dramatic, and the dialogue's a little bit funny at times. It's a little bit laughable, but it's still funny. I think the guy who plays the insurance agent is pretty lousy, though. Now, I guess this, I looked on IMDb, I guess this had a limited release, right? Because, I mean, like, whenever that, I mean, said the film was given a limited theatrical release on May 22nd, 1987, and then later in the year, CBS Fox released the movie on video cassette and Laserdisc. And then I think MGM ended up buying it, like they did with like Breeders and stuff. And it said, to this day, the film has never been released on Region 1 DVD, and as of March 4th, 2018, MGM has no current plans to release the movie on DVD. So I saw it on YouTube, and I liked it. I give it a 9 out of 10. It's very silly. And on there's something else about this. Kadeem Hardison's in it. Okay, it's A-Train. Oh, that's cool. What else? They have on IMDb, they don't have how much it cost, but they had, like I said, got a release theatrical run, and they said how much it grossed. It only made like $197,791, so it wasn't a big hit, but I love the movie. It's a lot of fun. Said the trivia is filmed on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. You know, the quotes account said, I'm immortal. And it's definitely interesting. Oh, and it's spoofed in Rick and Morty episode. Wow. I think this movie is was inspired by a movie called Tenement that came out a couple years before. Let's see if I can find that. Tenement. Wait a second. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Yeah, 1985, right here. It might have been inspired by a movie called Tenement, which I remember seeing that was about this gang that took over this apartment building. And I think they called the cops on him. This guy got released, and he was like, we're coming to get all of you, and something like that. Look and see if information about that. Yeah, because Laurel Films released that one. Was rejected by UK Video as Game of Survival. Oh, passed it. Oh, by the BBC. Okay. That was in the UK. Anything else? Huh. No other information about that. But I give that a 9 out of 10. It's a lot of fun. So, as far as the review of the Twix standards, I liked it very much. I give it 8.5 out of 10. Very good. Not the biggest fan of Twix, but these are good. I like them. And, like I said, Tenement was pretty good. 9 out of 10. I mean, a little silly. I think Christopher Sposa would be interested in seeing about this one. Like I said, it's on YouTube, which is really cool. So I hope you like this video, everybody. Until next time, please the review of the Twix Santas, and also the movie review of the movie Tenement. I mean, not Tenement, a movie review of the movie Enemy Territory, which I couldn't remember the title of until they said it on Good Bad Flicks. I probably could have looked it up on IMDb, but I didn't even think about it. So I hope you like this review, everybody. A double review, food and movie review. So until next time, bye, please. Camera Legion. For Thursday at 6 o'clock.